Mhm. Okay, peace and blessings, everybody. Anna Renee, your love power goddess, sacred word priestess, and doula of divine transformation, coming to you once again from the MAPS channel. Now, let me get on point and on task because the previous video to this one right here just sort of was a random video about feminine teachings in the books of women when they start bringing up the power of women and what women did and how they were represented back in the days before Christianity, and the feminine, the divine feminine. And just from the white perspective and from definitely from the melanated perspective, because I was talking about the book by hmm, our goddess, okay, Louisa Tish. She is now an elder, but if you don't know who Louisa Tish is, shame on you, especially if you are a young black woman. You need to find out if you don't know. And if you go doing this, typing it in somewhere, you may not pull it up. Okay, so the video that I just did is going to talk a little bit about her works, and I did a little bit of a reading from her works. Beautiful works, okay, all speaking to the Afro centric, divine, feminine. Okay. And what it all meant before it was all mixed and messed with. Okay. Both in the past and in the now times. The now times. Anyway, you want to check that video out, okay? But right now, I want to get back on to task here at the MAPS channel. Mantras, affirmations, prayers, and spells. We got to get into it, okay? We're now at Auset, the energy of Auset, which is devotion. You need devotion, okay? As Earth, Wind, and Fire once told you, all right? Devotion, die-hard devotion to the task is the energy of Auset, and it has been portrayed as feminine, okay? So, once again, I'm reading from the Metu Neter, Volume 6, the Ra Initiation System. All right, my people. And so, what I want to do is get straight to it. All right, because the previous video, I was supposedly going here, but then I got so sidetracked. But I'm so glad because I created that video talking about Louisa Tish. And now that I'm keeping her book on my desk right nearby me, this is it. Jambalaya, the Natural Woman's Book of Personal Charms and Practical Rituals by Louisa Tish. Well received work, okay? The greatest of them all at the time. The most popular, the well known ones like Starhawk, okay? Like Alice Walker, and like Merlin Stone, okay? Those were well known authors back in the days, right at the time when little old Louisa Tish came into the mix with the gall, the nerve to come in and talk about jambalaya, okay? A marvelous book of a marvelous blend of memoir, folk wisdom, and Afro American beliefs, okay? Check that video out. And if you can, buy the book, Jambalaya, before it goes out of print. I went on Thrift Books and saw that they were asking $76 for the book. I think I bought it for probably $5. This particular version was $9.95 back in 1985 when it was first printed. But anyway, get your hands on that book because it's not easy to go on and just say, I need a book by Louisa Tish. When you do that, all kind of weird stuff come up. It acts as though it can't spell her name. Her name yet is Louisa, but it's spelled differently. This is her initiation name, okay? When she was initiated, okay? Louisa Tish. Okay, that's the name that she got. Sort of like the way Iyanla Van Zant got her name when she was initiated. Iyanla Van Zant, she deals from how can you call it? She doesn't deal from that voodoo or whatever you want to call it way. But her name speaks to it. Iyanla Van Zant. Okay. Sounds very both voodoo and hoodoo. But anyway, let's get to it here. Auset. Okay, Metanetter, Volume 6. And I'm going to read because we're talking about this energy and the words of power. Okay. This is what we're dealing with right here, the words of power. Auset. Let me drink a little bit of water there. Auset is the divine faculty that allows man to transcend established, and you heard that, allows man, meaning human, to transcend established behaviors and limitations. That's what Auset does. She allows us, men and women, both, to transcend behaviors that's been established within our spirits. We can transcend them if they need to be transcended. Okay. That's what this is about. Growth occurs through a series of transitory stages. Each steps, okay, my mouth is kind of tired. I've been talking for a while here. I'm going to start over. Auset is the divine faculty that allows man to transcend established behaviors and limitations. Growth occurs through a series of transitory stages. Each step lifts one out of the preceding lower one, and it in turn must be transcended. The toddler must acquire the mental structures of the pre-teenager and then leave it behind to acquire the structure of the teenager, and so on through life. Man grows through the divisions of the spirit in the same way, through the divisions of the spirit in the very same way. She must first establish the self in the behavioral modalities of the Sahu. They must be transcended for the self to become established in the Ab, which in turn must be transcended for the self to become established in the Ba. Growth then is a process of crystallization and transcendence. The word transcend is akin to the words transform, transport, and especially trance. Trance is the heightened state of receptivity of the spirit to the will, acting through words and images. It is the means through which learning and the creation and undoing of habits take place. It is the process that connects the mind to the life force, which is responsible for all behavior and events in the life of man. Without knowing it, we spontaneously go into trance several times a day. These are the moments of suspense, held breath, wonderment, exalted emotional state, etc. The failure to teach people the skill of entering and controlling trance at will is a major cause of people's enslavement to their habits and lower nature. Okay. One of the greatest errors in life is the attempt to alter behavior in the normal waking state. Programming of behavior takes place in the receptive states, popularly known as altered states of consciousness. These states are brought about through powerful emotions. The gamma brainwave state, as experienced in intense fear, anger, and upbeat rituals. Other such states are induced through meditation, which induces slower than wakeful brainwave states, alpha and delta. Learning, indiscriminate imitation. If we need to learn, we must follow. For example, humility is necessary. Such imitation will be indiscriminate as far as children and novices are concerned. After we have learned, we can transcend imitation. But some people imitate indiscriminately long after they should have been in possession of the means of discriminating while going through the learning process. The middle class emulating the rich, for example, on middle class income. Sahu behavior asleep. The ninth sphere is the core of the Sahu part of the spirit. In it, consciousness is asleep. Man here holds beliefs that contradict reality and other beliefs without the slightest awareness of what is taking place. Devotion, sacrifice, and worship. Okay. Devotion is an emotional commitment to a cause to the point of being ready to sacrifice everything or dear things that stands in the way to the achievement of the goal. This is the essence of worship. Devotion is the key to arousing the life force, the kundalini, the ra, the ki, etc., to its highest level of expression. As the life force energizes the object of our devotion, we must be careful about what we pour our devotion into. The message from Kemetic spirituality is to refrain from nurturing devotion to things and people in life. Place your devotion into the realization of your divinity and oneness with God. In this way, you will attain the means of taking care of your life and your loved ones in the best way possible. The person that sacrificed health, family, social standing, liberty, etc., in pursuit of an objective was a victim of an objective that was fed an excessive amount of life force through his devotion to the goal. Devote your life. Be ready to sacrifice all to the attainment of your divinity. And all these things will be added unto you. So, for example, rather being, you want to go to college, okay? You want to go to a specific college. You want to go to an HBCU. You put all your energy into trying to get into that HBCU, okay? You are overly focused on that to the extent that you do some things that you shouldn't, or some things come about to you, and you end up hurting yourself, harming yourself, doing something to yourself. What you should be devoted to instead is your life force energy, your divinity, developing yourself, and then all the other things will be brought unto you. If you're supposed to go to an HBCU, then by magic you will get the invitation. You will get the call to that HBCU. You devote to your higher self. When you put all your energy into developing your higher self, I mean, you focus on it day and night and whatnot. That's where you put your devotion. Then all these other things will be brought unto you. All these things will be added unto you as the scripture goes, okay? If you're supposed to go there, you will go there. You will get the call if you're supposed to go there. If you're not supposed to go there, something better is going to come. Something that you weren't expecting is coming, okay? And you're going to be very thankful and grateful for it. Okay, yeah, I know. The Lord of words of power. The Lord of words of power. In the spiritual literature, Auset is referred to as the Lord of words of power. This is an allusion, not illusion, an allusion to the ability of trance to empower the words and images through which the will is functioning. And Heru is the will. Auset is the devotion to the will. These words can be words of utility, mantras, or words of meaning, the words that we use to communicate our thoughts. The key to empowering a mantra or an affirmation is not in its repetition, it is in the state of trance. Okay. A study of hypnotherapy, which should be taught to everyone, will prove to be very enlightening. So it's not so much about repetition, which is what we're taught. We're taught to repeat the mantra again and again and again and again. The reason that people are taught to repeat the mantra again and again is because sometimes people go into a trance through the repetition. It's not the repetition so much as the trance that the repetition can bring. But if you know how to go into trance without having to be repetitive, without repeating, then that's even all the better. And there's ways to do that. Okay. The doorway to eternity and infinity. In the state of trance, time and space are transcended. When you are working on the visualization of the objective you want to achieve, it is important to see it as already done. You must see your person, yourself, as having transcended the bad habit. Okay, we talk about this all the time. You got to see it as an I am kind of thing, not I will, but as I am right now. Okay. You must see yourself as having transcended the bad habit, as already possessing the qualities needed for a task, etc. If this is done in the normal waking state, like right now, I'm in a normal waking state. I'm not in a trance, okay? And I'm sitting here doing some kind of repeating kind of thing, then it might not happen. The energy, the life force energy will not be awakened. Okay. Now, if for example I'm a stan of Bay, okay, then if I'm sitting there watching a video of Bay doing her Bay thing, if I'm a stan, got to be a stan, then I'm getting ready to be enthralled. Now that's a trance. Okay. You're hardly breathing. You're just watching Bay do her thing, her crazy in love thing. She's wearing fabulous clothes. She's doing fabulous moves. You are in a trance watching. Now, whatever Bay is saying is getting implanted into you. And if she cussing you out in her new song, Church Girl or whatever, then that's what's being implanted into you. That part right there, okay? Has nothing to do with her personally. It's just she's a tool, is what I said before. So you've been put in the trance state. You don't realize that is what that is. If you're a stan, then you are someone who can go into a trance. Michael Jackson does that. All those superstars are able to do that. And it's not so much because they are some kind of special beings. No, it's that, anyway, let me not go into that. They know how to invoke a trance state. Okay. It has to do with what you can see, the vision, your visualization. And because they create the visualization for you, you don't have to do anything. Here in these books, we are being taught how to visualize for ourselves. But when you're watching videos, the vision is put forth for you. You don't have to do nothing but watch it, and that becomes your visualization. Okay, whether it's useful to you or not, or maybe it makes you do something that maybe in any other way or any other place and time you wouldn't do it. Okay, but because you have been this has been done to you, you will do it. Okay, which maybe means pay $350 for a ticket to go to see Bay and stuff like that, or other kinds of things. All right. But anyway, in the state of trance, you're in a trance when you're watching that. And time and space are transcended. You're not thinking about time and space. You're not focused. You lose track of time. That's what that means. Time and space are transcended. You don't remember where you even are. Some people they, oh, where am I? When they wake up. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm here. Oh, what time is it? Time and space are transcended. Okay. When you are working on the visualization of the objective you want to achieve, it is important to see it as already done. Okay. You must see your person as having transcended the bad habit, as already possessing the qualities needed for the task, etc. If this is done in the normal waking state, the critical functions of the mind will interfere. Oh, you're not doing this. This ain't how this is done. The criticisms come up and interfere with the working of the mind to connect with that life force energy within you. But when you are a stand, everybody else might say this is the dumbest stuff ever. But when you're in that focused mindset, in that trance, you're just a stand. It doesn't matter what people say. You are there, whatever that is. Okay. That's the kind of mindset that you can bring forth for yourself to do something specific for your own life. Anything you choose that will be beneficial to you. So that energy can be used for your own benefit if you only knew how to do it. This book is teaching us how to do it. Okay. If this is done in, okay, I already read that. If this is done in a normal waking state, the critical function of the mind will interfere. The facts that it has not yet been attained, that you don't know how and when you will get the money, etc., will come and interfere and ruin it. The state of trance abolishes these constraints from your thinking. They are the sources of doubt. So when you get into a trance state, your mind doesn't go to your doubts. Oh my God, you can't do that. You don't have that ability. You can't. That ain't right. Who you think you are? That kind of stuff doesn't come in when you're in a trance. That's why it's important to be in a trance when you do your meditations for certain things that you're trying to achieve. All right. Woo! Sleep. Sleep is the naturally appointed programming state. Okay, that's the time. That's why they say that you should choose something that you want to meditate on right before going to bed, and meditate on it until you fall asleep. Because sleep is a trance state time as well. You're halfway asleep. That's like you're being in a trance in that time too. And a lot of times, whatever you're meditating on, you will end up dreaming about. If you're meditating right as you're falling asleep, you'll end up dreaming about that kind of thing, which is part of the programming when you're in a dream state. Whew. Sleep is the naturally appointed programming state. While we sleep, the body and spirit are regenerated. All affete, however you pronounce that, and useless matter is prepared for elimination from our being. The behavior that we portray in dreams are the behavior that the spirit is ready to eliminate or reject according to whether or not they are in harmony with the 11 laws of God. We must make sure to include all undesirable dream behavior in the meditations that will be conducted in the following day. Auset's energy and mental qualities. Auset's energy is metaphorized as being cold and moist, meaning that it corresponds to a metabolic state that promotes great feelings of caring, empathy, sympathy, and enhances the mental functions of memory and the imagination. The coolness makes for introversion and reflection. Auset's personality keynotes: accessible, accommodating, affable, attentive, capricious, caring, changeable, charitable, civil, communicative, delicate, devoted, diplomatic, docile, dreamer, familiar, fashionable, finesse, fraternal, friendly, generous, good hearted, good host, imaginative, inconstant, indulgent, influenced easily, ingenious, liberal, naive, nonchalant, obliging, open, poetic, sensitive, sociable, submitting, subtle, supple, tolerant, unauthoritarian, versatile, unmethodical, and welcoming. Those are key notes of Auset's energy. Summary of Auset's keynotes: memory, devotion, indiscriminate imitation, learning, sleep, sacrifice, trance, transformation and growth, gateway to the universal spirit, imagination, reflection, contemplation. You must keep the keynotes of Auset uppermost in mind as you reflect on the qualities of each of its angelic HEKAU mantras. Okay. Hazi El. While breathing in Ong Vang Dung. While breathing out Azi El Agzi. Hazi El Agzi. Bad habits, negative traits, sex used to gain advantages, mysticism, negative mysticism, arrogance, and rage. Okay. Career talents to cultivate and develop: judges, politicians, politics, writing and writers, lawyers, movie industry, also actors and producers, assistance from superiors and elders. Personal and spiritual development: to get divine help, conscious, the spirit or Ka of Asar, to listen better, judgment of others, to understand why not. Let me read that. To understand why not in the judgment of others. Why not judge others? Why you shouldn't judge others, I think is what that is saying. Reconciliation, challenges, life challenges, negative karma to reverse it, law, commutation and amelioration of sentences. Okay, commuting sentences and ameliorating sentences. Okay, that's for that serious kind of stuff. When you going, you're getting ready to go to the slammer for, wow, you want to be able to break that stuff if you're innocent. Psychic protection to receive it, justice and acquittal for the innocent. Vices, violence incited through writings. Okay, the next word is hahaja. While breathing in, ong vang dung. While breathing out, ong hahaja. The bad habits and negative traits: lack of adaptation, hallucinogens for psychic experiences when you're attracted to hallucinogens for your psychic experiences, like mushrooms and stuff like that. Indiscretion or ashwagandha. What is that still called? Ashwagandha? Is that what it's called? The one that everybody's saying they go down to Peru and hook up with the person who takes them on that journey with these herbs and whatnot. I forgot it. I keep wanting to say ashwagandha. I don't think that's the name of it. I can't think of the name of this stuff. Ayahuasca. That. You don't need ayahuasca. You need your devotion through your Auset level. Okay. The spirit of Auset within you. And you can get to that devotion. You don't need to be taken. You can, but you don't have to. You know, Mother Nature's got your back, but the spirit within you is stronger. Bad habits, negative traits, sexual irresponsibility, and attracted to hallucinogens for your psychic experience. These words will overcome your tendency towards that if you happen to have that kind of tendency. A lot of people don't have that kind of a tendency to mess with the mushrooms and stuff like that. That's serious stuff. Okay, career talents to cultivate: cosmetology, learning through books, medical profession, allopathic or alternative, psychologist and psychology. Okay, the personal and spiritual development is the 11 laws of God, caring, esoteric practices and study like metaphysics, and learning from the Neteru. Okay, you have that insight. Okay, an enjoyment of peace. Psychic abilities: revelations, dreams, mind over matter realizations, magic and miracles, and psychic abilities. Okay, and psychic protection to receive attacks from others. Okay, you'll be protected from people wanting to attack. Vices: sexual molestation and abuse, rape, inclined to rape and stuff like that. We're talking to both men and women, okay? Men and women both have Auset energy, okay? Okay, the next word, the next HEKAU is Pahalja. While breathing in Ong Vang Dung, while breathing out Tios Pahalja. Tios Pahalja. Tios Pahalja. The bad habits and negative traits are libertinism and being naive, credulous naivete. Career talents to cultivate and develop will be talk show host, social issues advisor, psychic counselors, social themes in journalism. Okay, the career path to discover, theology. Personal and spiritual development would be spiritual enigmas to understand them, morality to cultivate it, spirituality to strengthen it, and optimism. Vices: religious fanaticism, antagonism, wars, and prostitution. Mahal El is, nope, I didn't pronounce that right. The next Heka is Melael. Melael, Melalhlel. While breathing in Ong Vang Dung, while breathing out Die Melael. Die Melael. Bad habits, negative traits, drug indulgence, lying, charlatans about herbal science. God, that's specific. A charlatan about herbal science? All right, that's interesting. Career talents to cultivate: biologists, biochemists, writers on nature, especially the vegetable kingdom, and botanists. So we're dealing with the herbs, okay? We're closer to the earth. Okay, communication to improve. People who lie about having a talent for the herbs. Herbal science charlatans. That's serious. But those people out there, they telling you to take this herb, that herb. They don't know what the heck they talking about. They make you believe that they do, but they don't. Okay. Personal and spiritual development to strengthen the intuition. Okay. Psychic abilities to cultivate your ability for premonitions. Okay. And psychic protection to receive against protection against assaults. Okay. Because, sadly, women are prone to being assaulted a lot of the time. You know, vices, drug trafficking. Okay, that word will help you to eliminate the need for drug trafficking or being around drug traffickers or having that in your cipher at all. Okay, the next HEKAU is Yehuja. Yehuja, spelled Iehu, Ja. You probably can hear banging. What can I do? I'm not going to stop this video. I'm going to keep going, you know. So while breathing in, Ong Vang Duhum. While breathing out, Yehuja Agad. Yehuja Agad. All right. Bad habits and negative traits: materialism, insubordination, intolerance, lacking in scruples, and a weak character. Okay. Yehuja. All right. Career: talent to cultivate and develop would be social worker, aptitude in sciences, psychology and psychologists, teachers and professors. Personal and spiritual development would be spiritual protection of spiritual people, the 11 laws of God, the Pa'ut Neteru, to get scientific insight into the Neteru. When you understand the science of the Neteru, you don't just talk about the Neteru, you don't just talk about, well, I'm all set. That means I'm supposed to wear blue and white. And that's all you know about all set, which is what happened with the whole Oshun situation. Everybody was it was about the gold that Oshun was wearing. When it became popularized after Bay did the video. Okay. So you want to have a scientific understanding and insight into the Neteru. You want to understand it on a better level. Not just, oh, she wears gold, she's the queen of the sweet water, or that kind of thing. That's not enough. You got to understand the magic behind it. All right. Empathy, being able to cultivate empathy, being able to strengthen your spirituality, being able to improve your ability towards adaptation. You're able to adapt. Okay. Psychic protection to receive against treachery. All right. Now the next Heka is Aniel. Aniel. While breathing in, Ong, Vang, Dung. While breathing out, Abada Aniel. Abada Aniel. Bad habits and negative traits: charlatans and materialism. Okay. All right. Oh, finally she's telling him to stop. Well, good. I hope he does. Kicking the wall or whatever the heck he's doing. All right. All right. Career: talent to cultivate and develop, success in your ventures, communication careers, actors, art students, sciences, and help, and comedians. All right. Okay. Psychic abilities: mind over matter realizations, magic, and miracles. You want to be able to do this, not just talk about doing it, but doing it for real. And you want to believe it's possible, not just talk about it. All right. Nature: discovering the secrets of nature. There are some people who are plant whisperers and stuff like that. They understand whispering plant energy. In the previous video that I just did, I was talking about the books, my books, Four Seasons of Mojo and A Healing Grove by Stephanie Rose Bird. I was doing some research and I found out that Stephanie Rose Bird has yet another new book that I hadn't known about. Stephanie Rose Bird's newest book. Here it is right there. But they show Roseburg. I didn't say that. I said Rose Bird. Stephanie Rose Bird, Bird. But anyway, the book came up. There it is right there, the beautiful black face. That's her newest book. The healing power of African American spirituality. I think there's a new book. I've never seen it before. And there it is, Stephanie Rose Bird. The healing power of African American spirituality. I want it. I want every single book that she ever creates. That's pretty much it. I want every last one of her books. What's this? I don't remember ever seeing this before. I'll show it to you as soon as it. Witch Queens, Voodoo Spirits, and Hoodoo Saints. Never heard of that before. Who's the author of that? I'm trying to get the name of it. It's not showing. There's some good looking books right here. Sacred Smoke, Spiritual Bathing. What's this one right above it? Black Spirituality and Black Consciousness. Then there's that other one right there, Native American Spirituality. Mambo Mama Ezili Danto or Erzuli Danto. Everybody get excited when they see that. But look at her. She looked like the Madonna. Is that what that's supposed to represent? She represents a Madonna, Black Madonna. But anyway, I'm talking about this book right here, African American Spirituality by Stephanie Rose Bird. I want to get that. I want to buy that book. You know, I really don't want to go to Amazon to get it. I got to figure out something better. I got to find a bookstore that's going to actually have that. I want it. I want everything that Stephanie Rose Bird ever do. All right. Now, where was I? All right. Career talents to cultivate, success in ventures, careers in communication, actors, students, arts, sciences, comedians, mind over matter realizations, magic and miracles, victory in life contests, discovery, discovering the secrets of nature. Okay. Plant whispering. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was saying about the book that she wrote. It was called A Secret Grove, I think. And it was talking about the energy that our elders back in the old days had when it came to plants and especially trees. Some people have connection with trees. They whisper those trees, you know. This particular HEKAU is being said to help you develop your ability in that regard. Okay. Ong Vang Dung Abada Ani El. All right. The next HEKAU is Daniel, Danil. All right. While breathing in, Ong Vang Dung. While breathing out, Pola Daniel. You know what? I'm going to interrupt myself once again because I'm getting ready to bring up those girls who do these they do the HEKAU. They were called the Holly Girls. That's what their names are. Holly Girls. Auset. HEKAU. Holly Girls. I think that's what their names were. The Holly Girls. If it actually comes up. The Hawaii Girls. Aloha. Hawaiian girls singing their HEKAU, but that's not what I'm looking for. See, it just won't come up. Every single time I want something, it doesn't come up. It's an old video, that's for sure. But it's been on YouTube for a good little minute. They're young girls. They look like they're sisters. Let me see the whole. Let me do this. Let me do this. I'm sure it was Auset. See if it comes up. Here it is. Here they are. Those 4 little girls right there. Oh, I misspelled girls. It was girls with a Z. I tell you, you young people with those doggone Z's on the end of the way. But let me play it anyway. Oh, you gotta turn the volume down. Yep. Guess I gotta turn it up. This is the Auset chant. Holly girl. It's just a quick. So everybody comes up when I pull that up. All the people. Even Raseki comes up. Sister Raseki. And other people. Even my own video came up. But, my people. But anyway, okay. So these chants, they're sung with these beautiful angelic voices or with your own voice. Okay. But anyway, and let's continue. Where am I? 48 minutes. Donnie L, while breathing in, Ong Vang Dum. Pola Dani El, while breathing out. Pola Dani El. What does this do? It develops the talents and the career of actors, politicians in politics, public speakers and lecturers, international business people, import and export business people, priests and priestesses, ministers, reverends, imams, and your ability to debate. That's what that Pola Daniel chant will awaken within you. All right. So you see, if you have somebody with voices like the Holly girls, and they're doing an Auset chant, and you're listening to that with their voice, I'm amazing. I'm pretty sure I'm more than sure that it's going to be amazing for you, just that much more than if you sang with your own voice, unless you can sing very well. And even if you can't, your own voice resonates within you. I take back what I just said. That's not true. You don't need to have some excellent singer. But I want these I want these audios, and I'm still waiting for my audios. They coming. My audios are on the way. In fact, I'm going to have them before Christmas. All right, so Paula Danielle, in terms of health, is going to release and relieve you of anxiety. It's going to relieve you of feelings of frustration. It's going to help you with illness. If you have illness, personal and spiritual development that it will be for you is going to be helpful in your mindfulness work, your min-ob, the cultivating of your min-ob, which is mindfulness. You're going to develop patience, okay? You're going to get divine help, and you're going to be able to deal with aggressive and rebellious children, okay? You're going to have that kind of a vibe that can help to reduce all of that within children too. You're going to be able to project that into others, okay? That's the magic, okay? It's not just you that you're helping, it's you're helping other people around you. You doing your work helps others because you have that mind and you're part of that mind stuff, okay? That mental stuff, that connection to the infinite mind. So we are all connected to the infinite mind. So what's in my mind can affect what's in that person's mind, okay? If I focus in it on that person by doing a meditation, okay? That's what it's about, my people. Okay, personal and spiritual development, patience for divine help, getting divine help, the vices that it breaks, illegal trafficking of goods. If you feel that you need to be doing that kind of stuff, trafficking, illegal goods, whatever they are, okay? That kind of that particular HEKAU will help develop a calmness of mind so that if you have a calmness of mind, maybe you can manifest something better. Think on a higher vibrational frequency so that you can manifest something different than having to be relegated to being an illegal trafficker of illegal goods, which is very dangerous, especially if you're doing international stuff. Extremely dangerous, okay? Okay, the next HEKAU is Hahasja. While breathing in, Ong, Vang Dung. While breathing out, Bila Hahasja. You see with these HEKAU the words El, Eli, Jah, words like that, which mean God, actually, keep reappearing. They keep coming up. You're chanting the name of God again and again. And these other words might be God in a different language. You don't know that on a conscious level if you don't speak the language. So basically, you're speaking in tongues. That's what you're doing. Okay, and that's supposed to be very highly spiritual, right? All right, bad habits that Hahasja will break if you're a charlatan, okay, or you're sexually irresponsible, okay, or you tend to abuse the goodwill of others. You wait until somebody's trying to do you a good one and then you abuse that. Or you make promises and you don't keep them, and you had no intention of keeping them, pretty much, okay? Okay, or you're homeless due to errors in living and in spirituality. Hahasja. Okay. All right, career, talents to cultivate and develop, medical professions, allopathic or alternative, either one. Either you're in the hospital or either you're doing your own herbal practice or whatever other allopathic or alternative, whichever. And you get a more enhanced aptitude for the sciences, okay? Personal and spiritual development would be your understanding for your spiritual intuition and your romantic and romance talents. Okay. I'm not sure what that means. Do you become a better matchmaker, or are you more able to develop that within yourself and be a better mate to your partner? Probably both, probably even other romantic things. All right, spiritual enigmas. You understand these spiritual enigmas. Those things that are enigma means that it's something that's just hard to know. It's hard to understand. It's hard to grasp it. But somehow you get the insight, the spiritual insight, and you grasp what is an enigma. Okay. That's pretty deep. The positive traits you have to cultivate. All right. Vices would be spiritual, evil, and negative practices and tendencies. The next, it will alleviate those, knock those things out of your spirit. Okay. So these HEKAU, they both at the same time they alleviate the negative and they develop the positive. Okay. Or the undeveloped. They help you develop those positive things, and at the same time they alleviate the negatives. Amazing, ain't it? They do both. Okay, that one HEKAU, haha's job. Okay, the next one is Mitzrael. That word looks familiar. Ong Vang Dung. While breathing in and while breathing out, Jina Mitzrael. Mitzrael. Jina Mitzrael. Bad habits. Well, there's a lot for Auset. There's a lot of words. Okay. Bad habits, negative traits, drug indulgence, infidelity, insubordination, eliminating worry, abusing alcohol, overcoming infidelity, improving your obedience in the place where you should be obedient, correcting life mistakes. A lot of people don't believe that they can correct the life mistake. Inconstant relationships. If you can't maintain a relationship, you keep getting in, but you can't maintain, you end up losing your man. You end up losing your woman. Hahasja. What was it? Oh, Mitzrael. While breathing in, Om Vang Dung. While breathing out, Jina Mitzrael. Okay. The mob jaws, the next HEKAU. While breathing in, Ong Vang Dung. While breathing out, Tara Damab Jaang. Okay, these are the ones I'm starting to remember these. These are the ones that's on that CD that I have. I remember these. Tara Damab Jaang. And what will this work on? What bad habits and negative traits? Selfish egotism, gross behavior, weak spiritually, very emotional, which is not a good thing. Okay. Sadism, which is not a good thing. Okay. Being ungrateful and disrespectful to those who are trying to help. A lot of times young girls have that kind of issue. It's a young girl kind of thing, which corresponds to Auset. You see that a lot. Iyanla Van Zandt had to deal with that a lot with the young girls. You trying to help them and they acting like a doggone fool. They don't know how to receive help, and they become disrespectful for help. They don't respect somebody trying to help them. All right. Career talents to cultivate and develop. Learning foreign languages, politics and politicians, advocates of just causes, maritime expeditions and maritime workers, which has to do with the water, which is Auset, right? Success in your ventures. You are successful in what it is you do. Okay. Fishermen and fish merchants. Okay. Obtaining financing. If you need some money, somebody's going to invest in you. Okay. Okay. You flow. You got the flow coming to you, the flow of money, resources flowing to you. All right. And esoteric practices and study the metaphysics. You become better at your metaphysics study. Okay. Health. If you're prone to suicide, you have that kind of suicidal tendencies, this will knock that out. This HEKAU, the Mabja. Psychic protection, receiving it. Negative, protecting yourself against negative psychic forces. Those negative Nekabet and Wacha kind of forces, okay? And Juju, protection against known Juju or even hidden Juju, okay? Negative, obviously. Okay, and I guess all Juju, I don't know. Anyway, it protects you against Juju, okay? Whether you know about it or whether it's hidden. Okay, the evil eye, jealousy, ill will, envy. You're protected against that, okay? By which Heka Damabja, Ong Vang Dum Tara Damabja Ong. Okay. All right, the next Heka is Habuja. Habuja. While breathing in, Ong Tang. Okay. While breathing out, Depos Habuja. Depos Habuja. And negative traits, bad habits, ill wishers. Those people are gone from you. Or if you have that in your own spirit, you wish ill of people, is jealousy. Or sexual irresponsibility. You know, you out there in these streets acting a fool, dealing with people you have no idea who they are, and maybe you're unprotected, and that kind of irresponsibility, okay? Or a man unprotected, just going out having sex with whole bunch of the women and getting them pregnant and things like that. That's that irresponsibility. Ong Tang Depos Habuja. Habuja. Depos Habuja. All right. Your career talents to cultivate. Botanists, herbology, flower essence practitioners, and farmers. The natural goodies, okay? And health. Fertility issues is going to bring forth your fertility. Your healing and your good health. If you have some kind of illness, you're going to be healed of it, okay? Your personal and spiritual development, caring. All right. You learn to be caring, okay? As Auset, you're supposed to be caring. That aspect of your energy is supposed to be caring, okay? But not overly so where you throw yourself out to be stepped all over, you know? You have to have that balance. Your psychic protection would be against evil people, protection from evil ones who have it out for you for whatever reason. All right, my people, that's it. That is all of the elements. That's all of the, what am I trying to say? All of the Neteru. That was the last one, all set. So, but there's still Geb. Geb is the manifestation. So that's it. So now it is the Tehuti meditation. There's the Asar meditation. You got the HEKAU now, the meditation. And then there's the selecting the HEKAU of the minor or talents Neteru. What are the minor or the talents Neteru? I might do that. There's a lot here. I might do that in another video. There's a whole lot. Can't see it. There's Harakuti, personality keynotes, the Heru, the head Heru, the Sebek, Auset, pact with the devil. Making a pact with the devil is a favorite theme in Hollywood. Hollywood and the various major religions have allowed Satan to run rampant in the world through their dissemination of false teachings about the devil. We must first recall that the angels are nothing more than the faculties in man's and God's spirit that are responsible for his or her personality traits, talents, and ways of thinking. Those are the angels. Okay. The teaching that makes of angels entities with a separate existence in the world as if they were members of a metaphysical kingdom or species of being has kept away from mankind an elaborate and sophisticated system for understanding her psychological and spiritual makeup, because we believe that angels are outside of us and we need to call them in. All right. We lose the fact that they're inside of us and we need to manifest them, not call them to us, not call out on this one and that one way over there in heaven someplace. Okay. We are heaven. Okay. Since every angel corresponds to one of the 7 personality shaping factors, every angel has its good and evil side. This is just another way of saying that every personality type exhibits a good and evil expression. I was just talking in my previous video about the book, The Enneagram, that I manifested when I was talking about Yeye Tisha's book, okay? Jambalaya. As I was reading the back, one of the authors on the back of this book, her book came to me when I went to my special store that I go to, which is the Friends of the Library used bookstore. It's in the library. It's in the front part of the library. It's a very small place with some books, but they have some fabulous books. The Enneagram book came to me, which is a way of understanding personality types outside of, if you want to do it this way, you can. But if this is too esoteric for you, there's other ways. I was saying in a previous video that psychology of astrology is a good way. Like if, for example, me being a Sagittarius, I needed some more insight about me, then I can read the opposite sign, which my opposite would be Gemini. And like I said, if you are a Cancer, your opposite would be Capricorn. And if you are a Leo, then your opposite is going to be Aquarius. And if you are a Virgo, then your opposite is going to be Pisces. I think that's how that goes. And if you then are a Libra, then your opposite is going to be Aries. And then if you are a Scorpio, your opposite is going to then be Taurus. And if you are a Sagittarius, then your opposite is going to be Gemini. And if you are a Capricorn, then your opposite is going to be Cancer. And if you are an Aquarius, okay, then your opposite is going to be Leo. And if you are a Pisces, or however that goes, on and on to the break of dawn, your complete 180-degree opposite in astrology is going to give you insight to yourself. If I'm a Sagittarius, and I am, then if I do some studying of the sign Gemini, just read it. A lot of times when we read astrology, we go only to our sun sign. That's it. We don't do nothing else. We don't think anything else corresponds to anything, But read the opposite sign. Read whatever your the sign that's 180 degrees away from your sign. Read your opposite and get some insight. Okay. A lot of times you will say, oh, really? Oh, okay. Is that the way Gemini is? As a Sagittarius, I can relate to that. That's what you're going to find. You're going to see that. I just was lucky because my mother is my 180-degree, okay, because she's a Gemini. So I've always had that. I've always been able to look at that. I've always had that insight, and I always can pay attention to her and learn something about myself. And she could do the same to me as I grew up, became a woman. She could do that. And so we always looking at each other this way, like, okay, that kind of deal. Oh, okay, I see you kind of look, that kind of deal. That's what you learn from astrology. Read everything. Don't just read your sun sign. Of course, read your moon sign and read whatever, read your Venus sign and all of that, but read your opposite sign when you're dealing with astrology. But I had picked up the book, get back on point, that was the Enneagram. In fact, let me just grab the book again. Where's that? Put that book. Here it is. Ooh, these earrings are bothering me. I'm fixing to take these jokers off for now. They're harassing me right now. This book right here is called the Enneagram. I was just talking about that in my previous video. It's a book on psychological and spiritual growth for the 9 personality types. And there is an image, a geometric image that represents the 9 personality types. And that's this image right here. That right there is the Enneagram. And you see it goes from 1 all the way around to 9. And each number has a name, a personality type: the reformer, the helper, the achiever, the individualist. And there is an aspect of this where you're cross-referencing everything. They have a whole book, super thick book on just this. It's like a tree of life. Very fabulous stuff. Very informative. It'll help you to understand yourself better so you know where to work. We are told to do better for ourselves, get our lives right, but we don't know how to go about doing that because we don't have any maps that will help us. We are just lost. We're on the road. We don't know what. There's no maps. Well, this is a map. Okay, the Enneagram is a map. Astrology is a map. This is a map. My channel Maps is a map. Okay, so make sure that you stay connected with me here at the Maps channel. Okay, mantras, affirmations, prayers, and spells. But let me finish reading this about the devil. Since every angel corresponds to one of the 7 personality shaping factors, and I even manifested that book on angels that Ron Nefer-Amen was talking about. There it is right there. I'm not going to get it. That black book next to the yellow book, the Book of Angels. They're all personality types. They correspond to personality types. Since every angel corresponds to one of the 7 personality shaping factors, every angel has its good and evil side. This is just another way of saying that every personality type exhibits a good and an evil expression. Whew, I'm hot. It's a hot day. The traditional religious error is seen in the attribution of evil only to Satan and his legion of fallen angels, okay? Every archangel, which is a personality type, and angel, including Gabriel, Michael, and so on, has its good and evil side. All that you have to do is to consult the literature on them that has been compiled over the past 6,000 years. In other words, if you are a lunar type personality that is ruled by Gabriel or Auset or Yemaya or Selene, etc., you will be subject to its good and its bad side, human and divine nature. Okay? There is absolutely no such reality as an esoteric procedure for making a pact with the devil outside of Dante's imagination. No one ever chanted a mantra or performed a ritual and had the Prince of Darkness appear as promised to deliver wealth and pleasure in exchange for his soul. Yet many people have made pacts with the devil. They are the ones that chose to benefit financially through selling injurious goods to people: alcoholic beverages, junk food, injurious medicines, tobacco, drugs, through pollution of the environment and food, adding pesticides, coloring, etc., by waging wars to steal people's natural resources, by exploitative labor and trade practices that force people into an endless life cycle of spiritual ignorance, poverty, and illness, and so on. These people, following their corrupt human nature, the devil within them. Okay. No, you didn't make a pact with the devil. Or you just decided to do this dirty stuff. Yeah, Hollywood continuously talking about that stuff. But anyhow, my people, volume 6 of the Metu Neter Ra initiation system. And my next video on the topic, not today because my throat is dry, will be Metu Neter 4, which are the laws, okay, of Auset. And I'm pretty much at the end of the book right here. The laws of Auset. Oh, okay. At the end of Auset, it says here in chapter 15, Heru Behutet, inheritor of Geb, and the first judgment. If you have done the preceding work well, you are now ready to inherit Geb, which is the earth. You are ready to inherit the earth. The objective of the work that was performed during the last 7 months was to place the 11 laws of God into your mind to build your divine self-image, which is Asar. If the work was completely successful, you will not, one, experience any difficulties from your emotional and sensual nature in your efforts to live true. Two, the 11 laws will be your reasons for the way you function in life. There will be no confusion and figuring about what must be done and why in difficult situations. You'll know what to do in a difficult situation. If this is your state of mind, you are now ready to confront all and any of your conditionings. Okay. For the past 7 months, the policy was that you should do your best to live the law that you have been affirming, but to not let it bother you if you failed, because all of the laws had not yet been put into your mind. Your divine self image had not yet been fully built. So you're working to build this, but if you don't get it, you don't get upset at yourself. Okay, it's very important for you not to do that. At this stage, your divine self image should be fully built, and you should be ready to step up to all the situations that have challenged you in the past without feeling emotional and sensual antagonism and without mental confusion and doubts about your ability to succeed. This is the sign that you have achieved the state of Heru Behutet, the ability to defeat evil within your own being, and that you have passed the first judgment. Whichever emotions and sensual desires you are still having problems with at this time will have to be processed through the next year's work. See, it's done by the year. You have to start over next year. At this time of the year, the fall, the outward manifesting power of the spirit has passed the median line through its nadir and can no longer sustain efforts to alter the self-image. It can only sustain what has already been established. Okay, that's why it's done during certain times of the year, because those times of the year represent certain weather patterns that correspond to whatever what, okay, like Auset, they say is and receptive. So you do that in, I believe, in the fall, right? Because that's, well, when did they say? When do you do it? August 21st to September 20th in the northern hemisphere, and southern, like, right? No, Auset should have been done already. This is October now, so September, and in the southern hemisphere, February 21st to March 20th, because it's fall time in the southern hemisphere in February. Okay. So it all corresponds to the time of year. If you didn't get it, then you can't catch up. You have to start over from the beginning, which I believe starts in December 21st. The first one starts in December. I tried to do this during the time, but I didn't follow through with it. Let's see. I'm just trying to see some people. I mean, if you really want to get it right, Asar. Okay, yeah, Asar starts March 21st through April 20th. That's when it starts. Okay, which is the beginning of the year, pretty much, right? It's real, it's just really powerful stuff. All right, my people, so that's it. 1 hour and 20 minutes is long enough to be talking. So, my people, peace and blessings to each and every one of you all. I know that you are capable of getting this work in, all right? Because once you get those laws into your spirit, into your mind and heart, then you can't be moved. As you go forth to do the work to change those aspects of yourself that you need to change, nothing is, your emotions are never going to get in your way. A lot of times people get in their own way, their emotions get in their own way, and they can't deal with anything. They can't change stuff. Like, for example, I have a client who has issues with alcoholism, okay? And he's not in the right frame of mind to be able to just go in and say, well, you know what, I'm getting ready to get this crap out of my system. I'm getting ready to do what it is that I need to do to overcome an alcohol addiction. If you made that decision, you could just do that. But most of the time, people have their emotions all messed up and their emotions get in their way. So they can't then just focus in on the work. If you had that kind of maturity, I'm just getting ready to do it. I'm just getting ready to do what it takes to break an alcohol addiction. Then you could do it. You would be able to do it. They make you believe that you can't do it. It's extremely hard. You need AA to do it. You can't do it otherwise. You know, you can do it, is what we're saying. Or whatever other thing you got problems with. Once you put these divine laws in your mind, okay, and you overcome those emotions, the emotions are not going to be able to get in your way because you have put the divine laws. They replace your negative emotions that would get in your way when it came to you making the decision to work on some issue. You know, if you had a drug addiction, if you had a fentanyl addiction, if you were to do this kind of work and get it done, then you can, on the right time of the year, you can get busy. Like right now would be the time when you go in and change those issues and work on eliminating. If it takes you taking certain herb supplements to cleanse your system of that buildup of that fentanyl, and you might get upset stomachs while you're cleansing yourself. You have certain herbs that you take to deal with that upset stomach. You might have anger issues. You have other things you do that might come up, you know, if the anger comes up while you're doing the work. You have other things that you do to deal with that. You got everything in alignment to deal with it because you already have placed the 11 laws of God in your mind and in your spirit. So your emotions are not going to be able to get in your way. So you can just go ahead and break whatever habit you want broken within yourself. If you have perversions, you can break those. Okay. If you eat certain kinds of food, you can break that habit. If you, whatever you do that you don't like, you can now do that with no interference. You just do whatever it takes. I mean, whatever the steps are to doing it. If it's a herbal program that you're working on, you take your herbs, as Queen Afua talks about when she talked about her herbs and her process. What it is she teaches women to do so that they can break the habit of having all kinds of stuff going on in their wombs. Okay, your emotions don't get in your way, blocking you. I can't do it. I'm not gonna do it. You can't make me do it. And that's not my problem. I don't have that. Or whatever denials and all that other stuff that gets in your way. All of that has been overcome by doing this work. You have placed the laws, okay, of God in your heart and in your mind so that they block like shields whatever kinds of negativity that might try to come and get in your way. I've said the same thing twice, 3, 4 times already. All right, my people, peace and love. And Renee, your love power goddess, sacred word priestess, and doula of divine transformation here at the MAPS channel. Blessings to each and every one of you all. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe my channel here. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe this channel. This channel is about freedom. Okay, freedom, full freedom. No, nobody can get in your way.